Can we invite Peter Corkum to the chair on the stage, please? On a football field or a hockey rink or a curling rink, Peter Corkum has excelled. He's been team captain of youth hockey championship teams. He's been the most valuable player of his university football and hockey teams. He's won many provincial curling titles as a third stone and as skip. He's competed nationally for Nova Scotia, and in the last almost 2 decades, he's coached some of Nova Scotia's men's and women's entries in provincial, national, and world curling championships. Through it all, he's retained a level head, never letting ego get in the way of friendship, and he would need a huge computer program to list all of his friends, close ones, and acquaintances, and his very many admirers as well.
One of the most complete athletes that Nova Scotia has ever seen. He has excelled in so many sports, not only hockey and football, but golf and curling. And he is a consummate gardener. His vegetable garden is without parallel in Nova Scotia. And he's a hunter and a fisherman, knowledgeable about all what ducks do and where geese go and what that trout's going to do and when he's going to jump for the fly. You know, a very complete package, and what a tremendous friend to so many people.
Congratulations on the turnip. Peter Corkum was known for his toughness on the playing field. In grade 10, he was told he was too small to play high school football. He tried out again in grade 11 and was a defensive back for Queen Elizabeth High School. The next year, he was named MVP as the starting fullback. He was determined to make it, and he did. Always a workhorse, he played the most minutes in youth hockey games, helped his teams win city championships in junior high and high school, and a provincial title in midget. At Dalhousie University, whose Sport Hall of Fame recognized him as an inaugural member 3 years ago, he starred in football and hockey. On the gridiron, the 17-year-old freshman won Rookie of the Year honors in the Nova Scotia Football League. 5 years later, when he finally hung up the cleats, he had played defense and offense, totaling 2,199 yards and averaging 6.2 yards per carry as a bull-like rusher and setting a school record of 172 points scored, a few of those as a place kicker. The hockey-playing Corkum performed for 3 years for the Tigers, winning team MVP honors in 1959 and 60. He was named Dal's Male Athlete of the Year in 1961, the same year he graduated with a diploma in engineering.
Peter is an incredible, unusual fellow. He is the toughest guy I've ever met, on the one hand, and the contradiction is when he's outside of the sports arena, he's the most gentle person that I've known. But he has a magnificent intensity which added to his physical abilities when he played hockey and football. Whenever any quarterback, and I had occasion to hand the ball off to him on a good number of occasions, whenever you needed 3 yards or 6 yards, there was no doubt who you called upon to give the ball to get those yards. You know, when he got involved in hockey games, especially against St. Mary's, he had a lot of, quote, friends on the other side, and there seemed to be a lack of harmony, and they mixed it up in the corner. You never wanted to go in the corner with Peter Corkum, because, believe me, you didn't come out very well.
His football prowess gained national recognition at a time when there were no national inter-university championships. The Montreal Alouettes invited him to training camp in 1962, but his commitment to the family construction company kept him home. Working for his dad didn't keep Peter from continuing his participation in sport. Golf was one passion, and he worked his handicap to a 3. He also began curling in earnest. In 1965, as mate on Ron Franklin's Mayflower Curling Club team, Peter helped win the first of 3 provincial men's titles and trips to the National Brier. Between 1992 and 2003, he won 4 provincial senior men's titles and skipped Nova Scotia's entry in 3 nationals, missing 1 due to injury. He has played in 55 consecutive Nova Scotia Construction Association bonspiels and won the title 5 times. His reputation for intensity and smarts brought him together with Virginia Jackson's team in the late 1980s. In 1990, he started an 11-year run with star curler Colleen Jones and her amazing rinks. He was with them as they won 7 provincial titles in 11 years and the 1999 Scott Tournament of Hearts. In 2003, he agreed to join and coach the Mark Dacey foursome. He had met Dacey years before when Peter was a volunteer host driver at the 1985 Brier in Halifax.
My first time ever in Nova Scotia was in 1995 for the Brier in Halifax. I was playing for Team Saskatchewan then, and Peter was our team driver that week. So he picked our team up at the airport, and I'd never met him before, introduced himself, and took us to the hotel. And this was a bit of a funny story. When we went to check into the hotel, you know, Peter brought a suitcase in as well, and we thought, geez, our driver's staying with us in the hotel. Isn't that unique? So anyway, we go up to our rooms, and Peter comes up with us, and he flips open his suitcase, and basically it was a bar in a suitcase. There was there was a bottle of rum, a bottle of whiskey, mix, ice, glasses, the whole works. And he opened her up and said, I thought we should get acquainted the first night, boys.
No wonder you were a popular coach, huh? In 2003, Dacey won the provincial championship and finished runner-up to Alberta's Randy Ferbey in the Brier. The next year, with Peter still coaching, Dacey won provincials again, and this time won the Brier in dramatic fashion in the final against Ferbey. He coached Dacey's team to a close runner-up finish at the 2005 provincials.
You know, he was dealing with 4 very unique personalities, to say the least. So, you know, we had to try to mesh well together, and at times there was some abrasiveness, and Peter was kind of the buffer in between some of those those incidents. So, you know, the characters that he was dealing with, it became somewhat like a puppeteer. He had to sort of control our emotions, had to control our actions to try to get the most out of all of us. And he really got to know how to, you know, maneuver the pieces and say the right things, and really get the fire going. And you could sense that at the end that, you know, to this day, I truly believe in 04 when we won the Brier, if it wasn't Matthew and Peter behind the scoreboard, we wouldn't have won that, because those guys really said and did the right things in those, especially in the last few days leading up to that victory. So looking back, I would say that they played a bigger role than most people know.
Mark stresses that Peter, the curling coach, brings a certain requirement that every team needs.
The ice it's in his eyes, and it's a look of determination and you know, intensity that is second to none. You know, I've had the pleasure of knowing Peter quite well. I also knew Ron Joyce quite well, and I found the two of them, you know, have a lot of similarities, and the biggest similarities in their eyes. They're very determined, very focused, very intense individuals, and when they want something, they're going to get it. And again, you can see it in their eyes. It's just